Yeah, so we're currently short on the pound yen. So
All
from
right.
so from last week we were talking about the setup, and we said from the weekly we were at that weekly area, key area, aren't we? And I said I
Yeah.
definitely guarantee that it's going to give us some sort of a drop down. That's what I was saying, wasn't I? Put your money where your
Yeah.
mouth is, so to speak. That we're at the 38.2, 151.45. So I just shorted to 151.45 as my T1, and
Right.
it's just dropped down below that a little bit. So that's encouraging. So weekly, because we
Yeah.
haven't had any reversal, have we? So this is the point where I'd expect it to reverse if we're going to see any sort of correction back down off this area, because we've just been going up and up and up. So really, this is high probability because we haven't had anything short, and you know this because of all the sessions we've done last week.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Nice.
now if you're around, I called it, I shared it in the Signal group, and I did the analysis. Oh, and I did a video as well for it. I did today's live session. I put some order. I organised a live session as well. So I said to everyone the analysis on the following watch list. So I did gold, pound yen, pound dollar, dollar yen, New Zealand dollar, euro dollar, euro yen, and Bitcoin. And then I said whatever pairs you guys want to look at. So then I've done the video, the live session in that order. So thereby allowing people to then scroll through that live session video to look at what's relevant to them depending on their trading pair.
Yeah.
So I've kept it a bit
Yeah.
more structured. So that was handy. So the second one is so you don't have to scroll far. You just look past the gold analysis. The next one is pound yen because this was the one that I was interested in trading
Yeah.
alongside other than gold. So that's working out quite nicely at the moment, and so we're
Yeah.
up
It's
on that.
looking really nice.
Yeah. So that's the move. I did, to be fair, I got in a little bit later than I would have liked. I would have liked to have got
Yeah.
in at with the momentum strategy, the break of the 38.2 at
Yeah.
151 around
Okay.
151.80. I put a small trend line on this range.
Yeah.
It was something like that. And
Okay.
we
Okay.
bounced off it this morning, and then I forgot to check back. And because I've been doing some one-to-one sessions and the live session, and I forgot to put an alert on as well, because usually I have an alert on my phone to tell
Yeah.
me if it breaks. So had it broken here, I would have started looking to get in short here with the stops just above, a smaller short. But as it stands, we've gotten in here on the next move down. We've got the pullback to like the 50% area, and I
Yeah. Yeah.
tried to get in as quickly as I could really to short it to the 764 as the first target. So that's what I've
Yeah.
done
Now
there.
it's slowing down a bit.
Yeah, that's okay because it's retesting a previous low.
51.3. It's good. Yeah.
But we have an Elliott wave move, and so yeah, Elliott wave's really good. If I show you the Elliott wave move on my charts, let me get.
Yeah.
This is the daily. The daily is good. We're seeing some, downside move because we've yet to have any downside move yet
Exactly.
on
Yeah.
this. But if I let me see, maybe best seen on an hour time frame. So let's pull up the. Let's move this up to here a little bit more. There we go. And let's get this on here. I want to show you Elliott Wave because Elliott Wave is a really good way to gauge price action. So I have an Elliott Wave tool and it is here. So Wave 1 is this one. So we had this sell off on pound dollar, pound yen last week.
Okay.
It was a nice
Yeah.
move. That's your Wave 1. And then we want to see a Wave 2 pullback, ideally to around the 76.4. So that was a 764 pullback roughly. So then wave 3
Okay.
is generally a 161 extension.
Okay.
So
The biggest one usually, right? Yeah.
yeah, let me just pull that up there 1 second. One. Let me see what's 161. 161 is around 60. It's around 70. I'd say 150 70. So let's get back to it. One down to about yeah, down to about there really. Yeah, about there. And then we might see a wave 5 would be, a wave 4 would be a 38.2 correction. So wherever
Okay.
that ends up
Okay.
being, we're looking for a 38.2 correction, which could be something like roughly maybe come up as far as testing a previous
Yeah.
structure
That
before,
structure. Yeah.
yeah, before seeing some sort of a wave 5. We can expand that after. Let's scrunch this up actually. See if we can. Oh, come on, give me a silly chart. There we go. something like that. Maybe, you know, a bit jaggedy, but something like that, down to about the 38. That's my target, final target. So if we said again, if we're projecting and forecasting, we're saying something like this, which would be, you know, whatever the move is. So say it manages to get down to about there, then we'd look for a pullback to about the 38.2.
Okay.
So that's, you know, this is how we do it. So this is a little more advanced, but this is how we help to project how price will move. And so it's actually going that little step further to actually go into some detail as to where each pullback is going to be, simply based on the first two pullbacks, really. So we have the first wave 1 and wave 2, and that's always the makings of an Elliott wave. So if Elliott wave 3 gives us down to about 150-70 area, then we know that we're in the right sort of, you know, ballpark for this sort of price action. So we will see what happens here. So I'm going to record this session so you have it, and then I'll upload this one as well for the benefits of those that are, you know, wanting to see what sort of work we're doing with our one-to-one traders as well. So there is a video on my playlist. I will share that with you. It is on Elliott Wave. It's good for. It's quite common. You see it quite common on pairs like the euro dollar. So the videos I've done, there's two videos on there. One is on the euro dollar, which shows you how price played out. Also on the pound dollar as well. So I've got two on there. Another thing that it works quite well on is on the Dow Jones. I've taken a few trades using it on the US stock market. So that's been quite interesting as well. So, you know, we'll see. We'll keep that there, and we'll see what sort of pullback we get. And even if we get taken out, because our entry wasn't great, it could have been a little bit more polished. 65. We got on short at 151.65, but ideally we should have been somewhere around closer, another 10-20 pips higher at least, 15-20 pips higher. But we'll see.
Target now?
So the target is down at wave 5 around 150.45. It's about 120 pips. There is still a decent 1 to 4 risk to reward as well. So let me show you that on the chart. There you go. Risk to reward is a 1 to 4. Okay. We've hit T1 already. So our T1 was to our 76.4. So T1's done. Nice. So stops at break even, and we just see what happens. Again, we have some Fed news this week on Wednesday, 6 p.m. London time, because the clocks have gone forwards in America. It's a 4-hour difference. So we'll see what happens there. But that's our take on it. That's what we're looking at, and that was it with the Elliott wave theory. So yeah, nothing more. So what I'll do here is I'll just pull these back, pull these fibs back here, because we don't need to pay too much attention to them now, because they've done what we wanted them to do. We'll drag these fibs over here a little bit so they're out of the way, so it just keeps it a little cleaner. We can just focus on this price action right now, and just see what sort of, you know, chances are it could go right up and take us out. Again, you want to see what sort of a pullback we get, so you'd want to look at something like this, you know, maybe on a 15-minute chart or smaller time frame, or just on the hour, and look for 38.2, which is around 65. Is a 50% retrace. Ideally, it won't give us that much of a pullback to take out this previous hour candle. Hopefully, it will just stay bullish and give us a 38.2, which would be somewhere around 55. That would be nice. If it could just, you know, anything like that, or ideally just stay even below just current price action. Stay behind below the trend line and just keep dropping. You know, consolidate here and then another leg down. That would be even better. We will see how it moves. But we've got profit locked in. We would like to see another leg down to at least 151 as a 127 extension. And if it can do that, then I will drag my stop loss. I will trail my stop loss to lock in a decent 0.5% or so on this, because it's a 0.5% risk trade. That's all. You know, 0.5% to make maybe a 2% or so, maybe overall, or something like that. We'll see what happens overall.
Yeah, that would be good. Looking good.
But if depending on your style of trading, it is a 1 to 4 in terms of risk to reward, which is okay. Again, it could have been a bit more polished if the entry was a bit more, if I paid more attention to it. But I was doing other things. So But there you go. It doesn't matter anyway. It doesn't matter at all. It's fine. Good. All right. Well, we'll leave that like that, and that's the end of that video. I'll leave this for you so you can